make it out. It says ambulance. Alright, and there's our control tower. Again, you can see some of the custom-made office buildings there in the background. So the photoreal imagery underneath the control tower probably could have been a little bit better. I'm not gonna tear them apart over that, but could have been a little bit better. Very good looking fire truck here. John Wayne Airport, Orange County. Very nice. The only thing I don't like about their fire truck is that there's no glass. It's like they're driving without any glass there. But other than that, this is like one of the best fire trucks in the whole of flight simulation in terms of how well it's modeled. I've seen this in a couple of their sceneries now. It's a very good looking fire truck. Here's a control tower. Just going to get a little close to it so you can take a look at the detail there and texturing methods used. Very nice. Looks like they've even used a little bit of on-site photography there. In fact, I remember when I spoke to the lead developer early on with the project, that was one of the things I had asked if they had a photographer on site, which they had. Very nice. Makes a world of difference. Oops, came a little bit too close to that building there. No animated flags, unfortunately, just static. Nice looking vegetation though. Really like the palm trees, which are very California. Those palm trees, very good looking vegetation there. Boy, this is definitely California, that's for sure. My home state. Okay, and let's start making our way back over to the other side of the airfield here, and we're going to take a look at the main terminal, the centerpiece of this presentation. I'm Casey Kasem. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's just work our way across over to the other side of the general aviation. Again, a lot of general aviation here, and you know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I think LatinVFR just needs to go right on ahead and do Van Nuys. I mean, am I right, or am I right, or am I right, or am I right? I definitely think so. I think they should go ahead and do Van Nuys. I mean, I think they've done a smashing job so far based on what we've seen with Santa Ana. You know, and the only negative things I pointed out are just things that I think could have been done better, or things that could still be added. Things that are not necessarily detractors from the scenery. Easy things that could be, you know, modified, if you will. I mean, look at this. You even got for lease signs here. Look at that. 50-foot by 60 hangar. Wow, yeah, you can get a jet in there. Absolutely. Some nice static jets there. That's a static Citation 2, looks like. And so as you can see here, for commercial airport, there's a huge general aviation and corporate aviation section to Van Nuys. I'm sorry, to Santa Ana, excuse me. I've got Van Nuys on my mind now because I'm like, I really want LatinVFR to go in and do Van Nuys. I think it's just right up their alley. And here we have Signature Aviation. Uh-oh, looks like the stream cut. Give me a moment here. I better check that out. Uh-oh. Let's see. Am I streaming? It looks like I'm still streaming here. Yep, I've only been streaming for 3 minutes. I wonder how long that's gone out. 401, 403. Wow, that's not good. Wow, OBS is really giving me a hard time today. Really sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Okay, Valley Deer says, I cut just as we saw the tower. So, looks like I was talking to myself for a minute there. I don't remember what I said, but hopefully it wasn't too bad. I don't think I said too much. I think I was really just pointing out the fact that, again, just pointing out that Van Nuys is just as much corporate and general aviation as it is commercial aviation. So, my apologies there. There's a couple of more hangars here on this end as well. I don't think we actually got to look at these hangars over here up close. Really sorry about OBS. OBS is just not really on my side today. My apologies. There's the Lion Air Museum. Okay, and it's time to, I guess we'll go ahead and make our way over to the main terminal. And after that, it'll be night lighting. Okay, there you guys are saying you didn't get to see the tower. Okay, let's go back and take a look at the tower. Sorry about that. Absolutely. That's why I like to try to keep it interactive. I don't want you guys to miss anything. And these hangars over here, by the way, are also part of Signature Aviation as well. I realize I need to slow down a little bit because we lose a little bit of quality here when I go a little too fast. Sorry about that. The reason why most broadcasts always look so clear is because you're only sitting in the virtual cockpit and there's virtually little to no movement at all from the inside. So with my streams it's a little bit more hectic because I'm doing a whole lot of movement. Sorry about that. So we're just going to come back and take a look at the tower one more time because it looks like some of you missed that where the broadcast cut out. So by all means, please feel free to ask questions. If you need me to go back and you need to take a look at something up close a second time, I'm more than happy to do it. That's sort of the purpose of the stream. So not a problem at all. And here's the firehouse again. And I think the only other thing I was noting here is that I really like the quality of the trees, which is very, very California-esque. A lot of these trees are dying out, actually, though. I have a lot of palm trees in my neighborhood, and really thick ones, and a lot of them are dying out. I think they contracted some sort of like disease or something like that, and so those trees are starting to disappear from Los Angeles. They'll still be around for the next few decades, but they really are dying out. And there's actually a few just on the next block over from where I live where a lot of them are now dead. So just zooming in on some of those corporate buildings there in the background gives you a certain idea of just how important it is to have those buildings there. There's a Radisson Hotel. There's Newport Coast in the background where that hill is. And Signature Aviation with all of its various corporate jets. And let's go ahead and get to the main terminal area. In fact, let's first head over and take a look at the air side of the terminal. I'm sorry, the land side of the terminal. Then we'll make our way back over to the air side. So lots of cars here on the car parks above the buildings. Very nicely done. And you even notice that there are some street lights. Street signages as well. Very nice. One of the areas I've been known to pick apart with LatinVFR is with their parking lots. Sort of getting lazy on those parking lots. I'm not really seeing that anymore from LatinVFR. They've really stepped up their game in that area. Like I said, the only thing that could have been done better is the quality of the 405 freeway. And I think that the streets here along the front of the airport could have been more handmade instead of just relying on the photoreal. Not a super duper big deal, but I think it would have made a little bit of a difference. Anaheim, Riverside. Riverside's actually where my parents live, out in Riverside there. There's a 405 to Los Angeles and the 73 freeway, which covers the beach cities. I love the 73. The 73 is a toll road. And if you ever decide to drive from LA to San Diego or San Diego to LA, it's worth to pay the toll and take that toll road because you're going to shave off. You could shave off as much as 45 minutes off your trip. And even if traffic is good on the 405, you're still going to shave off about 25 minutes. So definitely take that 73 toll road. It's worth it. Sometimes it's as low as $1.50. Sometimes it could be as much as $7, but it's worth it. And there's almost never any traffic on it too, which is really cool. All right, there's Terminal B with United. Next stop, Terminal B, serving United and U.S. Airways. The next stop is Terminal A, serving WestJet, Southwest Airlines, and Delta. Another thing you notice here is nice writing there on the ground there, some parked cars. No internal modeling here, but some nice transparent glass cladding here. And if I get down there a little bit, you can also see there, that's the custom background reflection that they've added. Very nicely done. Lots of cars there on the car park. Now arriving to Terminal A, serving American, WestJet, Alaska, and Delta. Thank you and enjoy your flight. Please mind the gap. All right, so there's Terminal A. And you can definitely see here there was some photoreal imagery used there on the glass. No unattended vehicles. All unattended vehicles will be cited and towed. Please move your damn cars. Thank you, and enjoy your day. So very, very nicely done here on the air side of the terminal. So I don't get to rip LatinVFR up about that today. Lots of cars on top of the roofs there. There's the John Wayne Airport sign. And the road just kind of splits in between the two car parks there too. So very nicely done. Going to make our way now over to the air side. After this, we're going to hop in our trusty Airbus, and then we'll take out the night lighting, and that should be about it. So just getting a little bit closer to the ground now. Going to take a look at some of this GSC that's here. Again, that brown, it's just, oh, I can't. That's got to be changed in an update. That really has to be changed. Sometimes when I say, oh, this would be a good thing for the developer to update in the future, but I'm not going to go that stance. No, that seriously needs to be changed. Seriously. That needs to be changed. That's just too overwhelming on the eyes. They've got to change that brown. All right, so here we are now. We're back on the air side. This is another great thing about Orange County. Take a look at this right there on the side of the airport. Like, that's for real. They even add little patterns and things on the freeway. That's just Orange County for you. You know when you've hit that threshold from Los Angeles County to Orange County, because all of a sudden the airports are so much better maintained. I mean, obviously it's up to, usually it's Caltrans that maintains the freeways, but it's up to the city to determine how much money they're gonna devote to maintaining their roads and infrastructure like that. And Orange County, you just know when you've gone to Orange County, when you've hit that threshold, because the freeway lighting is so much better. Their freeways get wider. You're not running over as many bumps and potholes on the street. I mean, that's just Orange County for you. They do tend to invest a lot of money in their infrastructure there. So yeah, looking at that freeway, that is so typical of Orange County. And those of you who live there or have been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Go drive along the 110 and then go drive along the 5 or the 405 in Orange County. You're going to see a huge difference. It's just it's uncanny. All right, so now that we're on the air side of the terminal, taking a look, and there's some areas where there is some internal modeling here. You can see there's a few palm trees there. You can see the nice reflection there, nice quality glass, very nicely done. You can see there's some stairs there, some seats, tables. The whole terminal didn't go this route, but I will say this: I think that LatinVFR found the perfect trade-off between where they would do photoreal, between where they would do internal modeling and where they would go ahead and polarize the glass. So in this case, I think they found the perfect trade-off between the two. I'm going to take a moment and look at some comments here. Just a second. And yeah, I see that some of you are echoing some of my my findings as well in terms of the quality of the roads and the freeway could be a little bit better. Absolutely. Valley Deer, I noticed a couple of times about the NGX. This is prepared version 2, and PMDG does not have a license to use the NGX in version 2, so I do not have that installed. Sorry about that. I realize a number of you still use it, but unfortunately I can't do that, and I certainly can't stream it because I'd be in violation of their license agreement. So, sorry, I can't do that. And I see Slayer just mentioned that. Thank you so much. Okay. And Slayer is pointing out you can the 777 is currently listed for 130 million. Is that right? 135 million. All right, let's take a look at this main terminal here and some of the texturing work that was done. So, like I mentioned before, some polarizing was done here. Oop! I inadvertently landed my helicopter. Here we go. So you can see the windows are polarized. They did not use internal modeling, but I actually like the work that they did because as you pull up to the gate, you can actually see the realistic background. You can see the control tower there and the glass and reflecting the buildings and the airfield that's actually physically behind you. So very well done. If you're not going to go with internal modeling, this is a good way to go. And besides, in real life, not every building, you can't really see through the glass anyway. Many buildings are polarized this way, so it still gives a very unique or very realistic feel. And you can also see here, the glass is not perfectly clean. You can see there's some imperfections on the glass, some kind of scruff marks there, and that also just adds to the realism there. So that's very well done. And as you can see, the parking lot is right on top of the terminal. Look at that. They've had to try to maximize as much space as they could possibly do with John Wayne here. And even if I go higher up, you can even see the ground markings as well. Let's see. Let's try that one more time. See that? You can even see there's some ground markings there. So very nicely done with the polarized glass. That looks quite nice. Lots of GSC here on the ground. Ground textures, LatinVFR. I've never had a complaint with LatinVFR and their ground textures. Their ground textures are always very well done. In fact, let me just pause that really quickly so you can take a look. So you can operate an aircraft as large as a 757. I think that's probably the largest aircraft you'd operate into Santa Ana. You don't want to go into any wide bodies. I wouldn't do it. Taxiways are too narrow anyway. But there you go. Very nice quality groundwork here. And we're coming up on the glass cladding again. Very good quality looking jet bridges. And actually, just to get up close here to the terminal one more time, just take a look at the quality of the actual building itself, the concrete there. Not too many polygons used on that on those roofs. Very well done here. This is what John Wayne looks like, I can tell you personally. And here we are again, a little bit of internal modeling here on this transparent glass cladding. You can see there's a Subway, a McDonald's, and a Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut Express, looks like it says there. And there's your Starbucks. What else here? Oh, California Pizza Kitchen, locally known as CPK. If you're ever in California and you have an opportunity to eat at California Pizza Kitchen, I recommend the jambalaya. Spicy as hell, but damn good eating. That sounded like I just added in an advertisement there right in the middle of the this part of the broadcast is brought to you by the California Pizza Kitchen, now featuring their jambalaya. Damn good eating. That's California Pizza Kitchen, now on the corner of 6th and 3rd. And now back to the broadcast. Okay, anyway. So yes, very well done here with the glass cladding. I definitely like the quality of the jet bridges. The quality of the terminal altogether. The quality of the concrete look of it. Very well done. And I'll actually take a look here. You can see here there's your video cameras there. Very nice. The small things that make the big difference. Let's see here. So just getting to a couple of quick questions here. Misha is taking off. Thank you, Misha, as always. Glad to have you aboard. Looking forward to my next stream with you when your next project is complete. Take care. Let's see here. And Merry Christmas. That's right. It's been Christmas in Australia. Oh, no, Misha's not in Australia. Misha's in Europe. But nevertheless, it's been Christmas in Australia for quite a while. So definitely those of you in Europe who are staying up late, Merry Christmas to you. And definitely to those of you in Australia as well. Okay, any other questions here? Okay. So yeah, definitely like that video cameras there. And that's actually on every gate. I guess one question would be, though, is where are the terminal lights? Those like terminal spotlights. I haven't seen those yet. I guess we'll see them once we transition over to the night lighting, I'm sure. So lots of, you even have, once we get over to the Southwest gates, you've got Southwest GSC there on the ground, some Southwest bulk carts. Once again, very, very good attention to detail there. It's nice to see the correct GSC at the correct gates. Very nice. And I guess we're going to start going over to Dusk. I guess it's time to drop the lighting now. And here we have some remote parking positions here. And for cargo operations. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think, doesn't FedEx fly like an A310 into Santa Ana? I think you do. You can fly wide bodies in here. If I'm not mistaken, I think FedEx flies in the A310s. I'm almost 100% sure. Almost 100% sure. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm right. Who am I talking to? Yeah, you're right. Who's talking to me that I'm going to say, yeah, you're right? Yeah, I think FedEx does fly in A310s into Santa Ana. I believe they do. So yeah, you can operate some wide bodies in here. That's actually correct. I don't think they do the A300 though. I think they just do the shortened A310. So if you have an A310, I think this would probably be a good airport to fly it into. Now I wouldn't go overdoing it and trying to fly in like a 777 or anything like that, but A310 certainly is doable. Or maybe like a 767-200. You could certainly get away with that, I think. I certainly think you can get away with that. Okay, so now I think we're going to go ahead and take a look at the night lighting. Let's see how that goes. And in fact, I think I'm going to, for the sake of the night lighting, I'm going to clear the sky here a little bit. So screen's going to go dark for just one moment while I'm going to clear out the weather here. That way everything looks nice and clear for, oops. Oh, that's not right. Weather, where are you, weather? Weather. Weather. Here we go. Clear skies, there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to swing back around so we can watch the sunset here. Swing around one more time. Yeah, so as far as the airport goes, I mean, that's really the only negative thing I have to say is just something has got to be done about this brown. It's a little overwhelming, that. Just going to spin us around here really quickly. And we're going to watch the sunset here over these nice buildings. Just pause it there. Alright, let's go ahead and go to Dusk here. There's our time preview. I didn't want to talk away your sunset there, so I thought I'd be quiet and let you just enjoy the sunset. That's actually too dark, huh? Right there, I think that should be fine. And Palocchio saying, I'm not sure, he's not sure if Burbank is bigger than SNA. I think SNA is actually bigger than Burbank is. SNA has, I definitely think SNA has more gates. I think Santa Ana has more gates for commercial flights. And a lot of the traffic going into Burbank, excuse me, a lot of the traffic going into Burbank nowadays, I think is mostly like regional jets now. You still see the occasional 737 and stuff come in, A319 and stuff, but I think most of the flights going into Burbank are mostly regional flights now. Burbank is not as busy, I think, as it used to be, but maybe someone can correct me on that. So we're just taking a look at the lighting now. It's actually very interesting. The lights come directly off of these surveillance towers here. That's what it looks like. We haven't gone to pitch black night yet because we haven't seen the runways light up. But just to get an idea of where the lights, how they've positioned these lights, it's like I don't see the lights. All I see are video cameras or surveillance cameras. At least that's what they look like to me. I could be wrong. But that's what they look like, just surveillance cameras. But anyway, looking at the terminal and how the terminal was lit up, and it all definitely looks like someone. Looks like they had an on-site photographer on the ramp side as well. That's what it looks like. So you can look at some of those corporate buildings in the background, nicely lit up as well at night. Very nice. Very realistic looking. And I think someone asked, should I wait to buy it now? Should I buy it now or wait for an update? I would just buy it now. I mean, there's nothing to suggest that, you know, that is something that will change. I mean, it's up to them if they're going to change that or not in terms of that brown landscaping there on the airfield. But I mean, it's one of those things where I'll just have to live with it if they don't change it. But you know, I would still buy it. Hell yeah, are you kidding me? I mean, I think the work here so far is fantastic. It really is. It is absolutely fantastic. So no, I mean, I would. I mean, if I were you, I would. I'm me, and I would. But oh, there we go. There's our control tower there, and you really get to see how those buildings make all the difference at night. But again, there is an option at the very beginning of the broadcast. We did take a look at the control panel, and there is an option to remove those buildings if you feel that they have too much of an effect on your performance. Personally, I would just leave them. I think they look fantastic, and they add to the realism as well. There's our IHOP and our El Torito. There's another restaurant down there. What restaurant is that? Is that Houston's? I don't think I see a sign. Let me see. What is that? Gulliver's. I've never heard of Gulliver's. There's Oracle there and Crown Plaza Hotel. Just try to spin back towards the airport here. Alright, taking a look from the other side of the airport. This is actually from the land side here. I think at night, though, I think those palm trees are lit up. Like, I think they have lights at the bottom of them, if I'm not mistaken, that face upward, and they actually light up at night, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure they do light them up, but I could be wrong. Lots of palm trees. Very nicely done. And let's go ahead and drop the lights a little bit further here. And hit the pause button. Actually, I guess I don't have to. And go to nighttime. And let's just see how the apron lighting comes together, as well as the runway lighting. I actually might need to change the time more directly instead of using the time preview, because one of the things I've learned is that certain lights don't actually turn on when I do the time preview. So that's what I would have to assume, because I'm not really seeing much apron lighting here. So let me just, 1 second. The screen's going to go blank for a second. I'm just going to actually change the time and season to night, just to make sure. Let's see here. Time and season, we're just going to go to night, just to make sure that we're not leaving anything out. Go to 2100 hours here. Loading air, land, and sea traffic. Oh, wait a minute. I went to 2100, so why did I wind up during the day? What happened? Hang on. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. And let's just apply it that way. There we go. Take a quick look for any comments here. Iron Kid says, I walk across the street by Jamboree Road in Maine in Park Plaza and was hyped about this when you first announced it. I have to say I'm underwhelmed. KSAN, its Balboa Park rendition was done years ago, and I feel like the scenery hasn't come far since then. But screw it, I'm going to buy it. That's what he says. And Metz actually says it's A300s. Oh, wow, so they do fly the A300s in Santa Ana. Good to know. I thought it was just the A310s. And Merry Christmas to Sparta 81 tuning in. Let's see, anything else? All right, and Poppy Vazzi is saying he's going to buy it and try it with Pilot Edge. Okay, so let's see. Now, we've done the correct night lighting transition, but I'm not seeing a lot of apron lighting down here, though. Just zoom out here a little bit. I have to be honest, I'm not seeing a whole lot of apron lighting. I'm not seeing any apron lighting here. Let's take a look at the runway lighting here. Let's just move outward and turn around and take a quick look. Let's see if we can't try to swing around here. One-way lighting at night is not really that bright. I'm not seeing any lead-ins from the west. We'll try it on the other side here. Not super bright. I'm not seeing any center lighting either on the runway. So I don't know. I've never approached Santa Ana from the cockpit of an aircraft, so I couldn't tell you if there's center lighting or not, but I'd like to think that there is and not just edge lighting. I can see where some taxi nodes have were lit back there, but that's about it. I don't see any center lighting here. I might need to reload the scenery library. In fact, let me do that. I just want to make sure that it's not something on my end. But I do think there are some lead and approach lightings coming in from the east on 20 right. Let's just try and take a look here. Yep, I can definitely see there's some approach lights there. I'm just going to try to swing around here one more time and take a look. Come on, let's get some right rudder here. There we go. Alright, so we do have some lead-ins coming from on the 20 right, coming in from the northeast, if you will. I need to give it a little power on the helicopter there. But no center lighting, though. It all just looks like edge lighting. So that's very interesting. Let's head back over to the main terminal really quickly and take a look at the ramp areas there. Let's see. There is some apron lighting here, but it appears fairly modest. Let me see if I can slow things down here a little bit and try to get closer to the ground. So definitely some taxiway center lighting, taxiway edge lighting, some nice blues and greens there. Oops, I slammed that down a little bit hard. But the apron lighting at night could be a little bit brighter. But I don't know, maybe You know, let's switch over into the aircraft and see what it looks like. I'm going to reload the scenery library just to be on the safe side. Let's see, that's positioned back on the runway here. I'm going to position us back on the runway. I'm going to switch over to the Airbus. We're going to do some night taxiing here. I'm just very curious. I see lights moving on the runway, but no car, no airplane. Okay. I'm just going to set us down here on the runway. We're going to switch over to our trusty Airbus. And I'm going to reload the scenery library just to make sure that I'm not missing anything here. So bear with me just a moment. Let's see, scenery library. And just going to uncheck, recheck, and let that reload. And Poppy Vizzi is actually saying no center lights are correct for this airport. Okay, good to know. I can tell you the night operations at Santa Ana are very popular. Coming down the 405 at night, and you just see them blasting over there at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Not really sure what the noise abatement issues are at Santa Ana, though. It's a good question. Okay. So yeah, we've reloaded. Okay, and then let's go ahead and select our vehicle. I hate that they call it vehicle, but anyway. Okay. 1 second. All right, where is our Airbus? I think doesn't let's see. Let's go back up to Aerosoft. Isn't there? I think there's like a Delta A319 or something like there, isn't it? Oh, it's down here somewhere. Oh, it's an A320, huh? Thought it was an A319. Here we go. This is a general aviation airport. Just throw that one in there. Let's see. And that's saying SNA has a hard closure at night, I believe. Anything after 11 p.m. has to go somewhere else. Okay, so it's up till 11. They have a crazy departure, too. The rocket straight up for noise abatement. Oh, I'm sure. Especially when you're taking off to the west, because I imagine, I'm just wondering what the pattern is for departures. I mean, do they really depart straight up and out over Balboa and out over the coast there, or do they have to do some funky maneuvers to avoid flying over all those rich people's houses? That would be my question. I really don't know what the provisions are for Santa Ana, though. It's a very, very good question. Okay. Let's adjust the time here a little bit. Oh, where it's hiding down here somewhere. There we go. Okay, full screen. Yes. And gotta check one more thing here. FSUIPC, of course. Okay, here we go. Oh, I guess I should put track IR back on, huh? So I can actually look around a little bit. Okay. Actually, the frames have dropped quite a bit. I don't think it liked how I refreshed that library. I'm actually down in the double digits here. You know what? Give me 1 second, guys. I think I'm going to refresh. I think I made a lot of changes to the scenery here. And at the risk of making it look bad, I think it would be better for me to just restart the simulator. I definitely wouldn't want to do that. So give me just 1 quick second here. I'm just going to reload it really fast. Let's get rid of it quickly. Sorry about that. Yeah, I noticed the frame rates dropped down to like the double digits and was kind of stuttery. So making all those changes that I did with weather and all that and time and season, so it's better to just reload the simulator just to make sure. So that way we get an accurate idea of what the performance looks like with that Airbus in there. So let's just give it just a moment. Take a look at any questions, comments here. Valideer says, AirDailyX blog is now a popular site on my browser. Awesome. Always love to hear that. And Matt says, they have a crazy departure. Just rocket straight up. Just climb, climb. Wow, I guess I imagine they can't take off too heavy then, because the runway is what, 7,000 feet, I think. So I imagine they don't take off too heavy if the thing is just rocket out. There's got to be some good videos on YouTube of SNA departures, though. I like to think so. NSA? No. SNA. Oops. Images. Videos. Here we go. This is probably a good one. Let's take a look at this one. What the heck is this? Looks like he's slewing on the runway here. What am I looking at? Oh, okay. This is a really shaky camera. Come on, man. Hold that camera. Good night. I'm gonna this is very dizzy. I see here, look at that. There's your business jets there. There's those buildings in the background. Alright, let's see how they climb out. That looks like an that could be a 737, huh? It's probably Southwest. Alright, we're airborne. Let's see how hard they climb out here. Yeah, nothing out of the usual. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I hit a button on my keyboard. Sorry about that. Let's back that up a little bit. There we go. I don't know. There's the 73 freeway there. It doesn't look like he's climbing out any higher or any faster than usual. There's I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary on the climb. Oh, there's Fashion Island coming into view there. Newport Coast there in the background. That's a nice departure, though. See, it would have been nice if all this was included in with the scenery. That would have been a nice touch. These are all important points of interest, especially if you're doing a VFR flight. So there's one of the islands there. I have to imagine by now, though, his altitude must be around probably 6,000. So by the time they fly over overfly these islands, I mean, he's high enough that you probably really don't hear him. You don't hear them going like screaming out of there. But yeah, it is pretty much just straight out, though. Yeah, definitely. 5,700, 100 feet shorter than Burbank, and they still operate 7.5. So that's the great thing about the 757. You get those bigger engines on that bad boy. You know what would be great is if they did a 757 NEO and they put even bigger engines on it. That'd be great. Okay, let's go back and find our A319 again. Let's see here. Wow, it's already 3:15. Holy crap. I've been at this since, what, 12? All right, we got to start wrapping up. Let me see. Where is the A318? I'm taking up everybody's day here. You know what? Screw it. Let's just get the German wings. German wings, you're coming to John Wayne, baby. All right, here we go. KSNA. Active runway, that's fine. We'll just do noon. All right, let's get this show on the road. Wife's going to be home soon. I want to be done before she gets here. Got Christmas stuff to do. I still got 2 more gifts to wrap. Okay. But yeah, the new microphone of which you're hearing my voice right now was actually an early Christmas present from the wife, and I have to say, it's actually coming along very well. I like the way that my voice sounds going on through it. Even though I can't hear myself, I have to imagine it sounds very interesting, and definitely a lot better than the microphone that I used to use before. This is the ADX Radio Network, and now back to your regularly scheduled program. Almost done here, guys. We already looked at the night lighting, so yeah, this is the last part. We're just going to taxi up to the gate really quickly, and that should pretty much do it. So, going to go ahead now and just briefly overview. I really like the way the airport was done. Definitely has a very large coverage area, which I appreciate. High resolution photo imagery. The airport itself, the buildings are very nicely done. The main terminal has nice polarized glass with environmental reflection. Very, very nicely done there. I love the air side of the terminal, which was an issue with LatinVFR in the past, but it's an area that they've really overcome and they've done a tremendous job at. Just going to switch back into the simulator here. They have definitely done a tremendous job with that. Go back to full screen, and yeah, we've got frame rates are looking a little bit better. Let's see what else. The quality of the texturing methods used on the terminal, very nice. I really love how everything was added. The surrounding buildings, very, very immersed environment. I really like the vegetation, which is also very accurate. Anything else? So all in all, I mean, the ground textures are very nice. Just take a look outside at those ground textures. I like the way the paint was done. There's your taxi signs. So, you know, the only real negative things are it's just it would have been nice if they had increased the coverage area all the way out to the ocean to cover Newport Coast, or I'm sorry, Newport Beach, and the islands out there would have been nice. The roads outside the airport, including the 405, the 73, and the main road that runs along the airport there, could have been done a little bit higher resolution. And the only other last thing here is just this really brown airport coloration that they used here. It's a little overwhelming. So that's the only other thing. Oh, where's FSUI PC? I have to turn that on. Always forget that. Sorry about that. That's the one thing, though. Of all those other things that I mentioned, those are not deal breakers, but the coloration of the actual airfield, this really strong rustic brown color, that's got to change. That's definitely a big deal. So with the exception of that, it's an excellent airport. I haven't pulled the price yet, so I'll make sure to pull up the product page so that we can take a look at that as well. But other than that, I mean, I think it's all been done very nicely, and I'm very happy with it. It's finally, I think we've gotten a version of Santa Ana that we've been waiting to get so many years, and so I'm very pleased with the end result. I think the end result was just done so incredibly well. In fact, if we just switch over to the outside of the airplane here to get a look at, to get an idea of what the spot view looks like. There's German wings visiting Santa Ana for the first and only time ever. You can see some of those mountains now that I've cleared out some of the smoggy weather. You can see how close those mountains are that are in the background there. And just kind of getting a quick scroll around here and taking a look at all of the buildings that were added, hotels, a lot of business parks there. Very well done. So a definite kudos to LatinVFR. And by the way, during the one of the things that Flight Simulator doesn't get right is autumn. It does not look like this in real life in Southern California. You don't get all these autumn trees. This looks like it's on the East Coast. In fact, I'm tempted to just change that real quick because it's just so inaccurate to see all those autumn trees. I mean, there are certain neighborhoods where you see them because, you know, the city elected to put in those kind of trees so people could feel like they were on the East Coast or something, but you really don't really see that. Not to the great level that it's presented here in the Flight Simulator. So just FYI, you seeing all those autumn trees out there, that is not realistic at all. Alright, so now we're just doing a taxi test here at the airport. Taxiing down the runway, and this is just to give you an idea of what everything looks like from the pilot's perspective. Because obviously the way many of you will be using the scenery is not hovering around in a helicopter, but actually flying in an aircraft. And so it's naturally, it makes sense to show you how it looks like from this point of view. Uh-oh. Come on, rotate, rotate, rotate! Ah! Okay. Anyway, so yeah, just giving you an idea. Let me get off this runway before the Delta realizes he's gonna just not wait for me either. Can I turn off here? Is this a turn off? No, it's not. I gotta go down to the next one. So talking about performance a little bit here, performance has dropped quite a bit. We're down into the lower double digits here. Seeing some let's see here. Of course I have the AI traffic on full, but even then though, yeah, we are kind of down into the double digits here with the performance. So this is one area where many of you might elect to not have a lot of buildings if it's going to be a little too low for you. So that's something to consider. The thing about this area, and you can't blame too much on LatinVFR, Santa Ana Airport is just in an area just like LAX, like FSDT LAX. That's just the nature of Southern California. I mean, it's a lot of autogen, it's a lot of buildings. So what I would probably recommend you do if you don't typically fly that way is you might want to tone down your autogen settings for this airport, because it is surrounded by, you know, heaps of autogen for miles and miles in every direction, and that autogen is definitely going to take a chunk out of your experience. So I would definitely consider turning down autogen when you're flying into this airport. And yeah, it's a little bit on the stuttery side as well. I'm actually noticing that on my end. So this is about roughly about what I get when I'm flying in and out of LAX too with traffic. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Just taking a look here, just looking at that reflection there on the glass. That looks very, very well done. Of course, I'm off my center line, but oh well. And now we're going to do the jetway test. So we're going to go ahead and pull up into one of the jetways here. One of the gates, rather. I think I'll pull up to the last one there on the end. Okay, here we go. Let's try and turn onto this gate here. Actually, I think I made that turn a little too early. Try not to turn my head too much because I know it gets a little dizzy. I tend to use my Trek IR settings a little bit on the sensitive side. I've got nothing really to guide me into the gate, so it's going to be a little bit of guesswork here. And there we are, pulling up to the gate. So just take a quick look around, see what the gate area looks like from the virtual cockpit or the virtual flight deck. Of course, we don't call it a VF, we call it a VC. Do we have to change that acronym now? Here's the VF view. Alright, let's hit the brakes. Let me see, where am I parked at on here? Oh wow, look at that. I managed to actually go on the center line. Can you believe it? Alright, let's pull up to the A3. Let me see. Oh, I'm actually almost right on the A319, A320 parking position here. Just move it forward just a little bit. Boom. There we go. Okay, and let's do a lazy engine shutdown. And let's see if we can get that jet bridge on our aircraft. Here we go. And there it is. LatinVFR now using the Control J option to use jet bridge animation, especially for P3D. And let's try GSX. Alright. Let's see, catering service. What else we got here? Refuel. There we go. So now we've got our GSX here. Looks like our jet bridge is still working our way up to the aircraft. This is a United gate, I guess, so this is why we have United GSC here. Isn't that so cool how GSX knows? And wow, you know, in certain sceneries I've noticed the jetway will just bash its way straight through the fuselage, but here it didn't happen. In fact, it's not even touching the fuselage. I don't know if I can show that though. I really can't because of my eye point. But that was actually one of the best Control J dockings I think I've seen so far. Awesome. Very nice. Does anyone know, by the way, why at certain airports or in certain gates my GSX guy, the trucks sink in the ground like that? Certain airports it does it, and certain airports it doesn't, but that's really annoying. I don't know why it does that, but the baggage truck always sinks in the ground. So anyway, just taking a quick look here at the ground level. Really like that. That jet bridge really hooked up properly. Very nice. And so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. John Wayne, Santa Ana, Orange County by LatinVFR. Going to take a moment to field any final questions, any final comments before we end today's stream. It's been a long one today. You guys went about a week without your stream fix, so hopefully today was entertaining as well as informative. Sorry about that. As I hang around the house in my underwear enjoying my vacation. Okay, here we are. And so there it is, guys. Very well done job from LatinVFR. I think this is a nice parting shot right there. Wrong airline livery, but that's okay. Let me see if I can pick it up a little bit. Lift it off the ground, and there's your buildings in the background. All these custom buildings, very well done. So terrific scenery, and I absolutely like it. So if you're looking to know what my final opinion is here, I absolutely like it. I really like it. I think LatinVFR has stepped up their game quite considerably in recent years, and I think they've done an absolute great job. I had very little negative things to say about it. In fact, the only negative thing again was with this really just brown airfield coloration in that dirt there. That's the only negative thing. Everything else was just about things that could be done better, in my opinion. But that's the only thing that's just downright negative. So with that said, I'm going to field any other questions. If there's anything else anyone has about the scenery, we'll take a look at that now and wait for the delay. And Poppy Vazi is saying, looking at the approach plates, the lights are correct at the end of 02 left. No ILS. Poppy's on both 02 left and 02 right also. And Cap, Merry Christmas to you. And we did do the jetway animation. Hopefully you guys were pleased with that. I was. Political's asking about Flight Beam SFO. I would be looking for that sometime in February, probably. That's my guess. That's my best guess. I need to update the billboard, but my best guess is February. All right, and Poppy Vazi says he's about to unload the wallet. So that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of ADX Live HD presented by AirDailyX.net and powered by Jetline Systems. We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast featuring LatinVFR, Santa Ana, and of course, earlier today, we took a very in-depth look at KDM Entertainment and Aerosoft's Oslo Torp scenery. You can stay tuned later on today for the rebroadcast for both of these products, which in my opinion were very well done. Today is Christmas Eve for me and Christmas Day for many of you. So I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas to you and your families. And if you do not celebrate Christmas, then I just wish you a very, very pleasant week. And be sure to stay tuned next week for more live presentations here on ADX Live HD. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the rest of your holiday. Goodbye, everyone.